Hi, my name is Rob Jordan. I'm the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Lake Manager at Lewisville Lake. I've been working with a planning team for approximately 3 years to revise the Lewisville Lake Master Plan. We now have a draft revision ready for public review. Normally, we would hold face-to-face public workshops to announce the draft, but the COVID-19 virus has made it necessary to conduct our public involvement effort online. This narrated slideshow contains 12 slides and should only require about 8 minutes of your time. Following the slideshow, I urge you to read the Draft 2020 Revised Master Plan and the related appendices A through F, as well as the 1985 Master Plan and the 2004 Master Plan Supplement to see where we have been compared to where we are going. All the documents you will need for the review are posted on the USACE Fort Worth District website at the link provided later in this slideshow. Thank you for taking time to view this website and listen to this presentation. The purpose of posting this presentation for public review is threefold. The primary purpose is to publicly announce the availability of the draft master plan and related environmental assessment for public review and comment. Also, I will point out the main proposed changes from prior master plans to the current draft. The draft master plan and environmental assessment will be available for public comment for 45 days beginning on May 8, 2020 and ending on June 22, 2020. The process has included 2 identical public workshops held on May 2nd and 4th, 2017. 77 individuals attended the 2 initial meetings, and comments were received from Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, 8 cities, and 17 individuals. Through 2017 and into 2018, meetings were held with approximately 19 key stakeholders, including TPWD, cities, and nonprofit organizations that partner with the Corps in the management of park areas and other lands around Lewisville Lake. All comments received following the meetings were considered in preparing the draft revised master plan. The comments and government response is included in Chapter 7 of the draft. The Corps conducted a wildlife habitat appraisal of the federal lands surrounding Lewisville Lake in October 2017. Approximately 84 sample points were surveyed in the major habitat types found at Lewisville Lake. The results of the appraisal are included in Appendix C of the draft. Master plans do not address all things at a lake. As was explained at the initial public workshops, the Corps defines a master plan as a plan that addresses land and recreation program management. Master plans do not address regional water quality, water management related to flood risk management, water supply and water level management, or the shoreline management plan, which is a plan that is developed by the Corps through a public process to address the management of allowable private activities such as private boat docks and mowing and pedestrian paths. The shoreline management plan for Lewisville Lake is briefly mentioned in Chapter 6 of the Draft Revised Master Plan. Listed on the slide are the principal changes from the current master plan to the Draft Revised Master Plan. While these are the primary changes, it is important to read Chapters 4, 5, and 8 of the draft to understand the full scope of proposed changes. As listed, there was almost no net change in the acres of lands that are managed as high-density recreation. Basically, no change to the park areas we are all familiar with. Environmentally sensitive areas are now treated as a separate land classification, not an overlay as they were in 2004. And the acreage of environmentally sensitive areas has increased from 7,292 acres up to 10,918 acres. The increase is due primarily to the inclusion of riparian areas on tributaries located on the east side of the lake. The 19 shoreline segments identified as narrow shoreline variance areas in a 2005 revision were each classified as multiple resource management lands, low-density recreation. The federal ownership in these 19 areas is very narrow, ranging from less than 50 feet to approximately 100 feet in width. In the 2004 Master Plan Supplement, 42 utility corridors were identified. In the proposed draft, the number of utility corridors was reduced to 38. These utility corridors generally follow existing roads and utility lines and have a purpose of consolidating future utilities in areas that result in the least environmental damage. The 38 utility corridors are fully described in Chapter 6 of the Master Plan and are shown on the maps in Appendix A. The draft revised master plan includes a new land classification scheme, with 4 dominant classifications and 2 sub-classifications as described on the slide. The land classification maps in Appendix A of the draft show the location and extent of each of the proposed land classifications. This slide provides important land classification acreages from the prior land classification scheme to the proposed new land classification. With the exception of project operations lands, it is not possible to make a direct comparison from the prior to the new classifications. To fully understand the changes and reasons for the changes, it is necessary to read Chapter 8 of the Master Plan. The proposed land classification changes are also analyzed in the environmental assessment attached to the draft revised master plan. The revised master plan includes expanded management goals and objectives. 5 new categories of management objectives, as listed on the slide, are included in the revised master plan. The new objectives are listed in Chapter 3 of the revised master plan. This slide is self-explanatory, but I want to emphasize that the proposed action is the revision of the master plan, and the environmental assessment will assess the impacts of that action. The environmental assessment will identify possible alternatives, including a no-action alternative, and will describe which alternative is the preferred alternative. Basically, the revision of the master plan triggers the need to prepare an environmental assessment. The environmental assessment is included in the master plan as Appendix B. The recreational boating survey conducted in the summer of 2019 was very similar to a recreational boating survey completed in the summer of 1998. The 98 survey resulted in the establishment of a water-related recreation development policy for Lewisville Lake that still remains in effect. The findings from the 2019 survey, as well as surveys conducted at other lakes, will be used to update the policy for Lewisville Lake, as well as a district-wide policy. I urge you to read Chapter 6 of the revised master plan, where the 2019 recreational boating survey is summarized. The Corps has not established a schedule for the update of the Lewisville Lake or the district-wide water-related recreation development policy. This 7-step planning process describes the path we have followed to date. We are currently at the yellow star, where agency and public review of the draft revised master plan and environmental assessment will take place beginning on May 8th and ending on June 22nd of 2020. This provides for a 45-day comment period. All comments received will be analyzed by the planning team and changes made as necessary. After changes are made and the document is approved by the district commander, the master plan will be posted on the district website. We anticipate that the final master plan will be posted around September 1st of 2020. Additional public involvement is not anticipated unless there are notable changes made to the draft revision. Your participation is the key to preparing a master plan for Lewisville Lake that will guide management of the lands and water surface for approximately the next 25 years. Please review the documents posted on this website. A convenient link is provided on this website where you can submit a comment via email. A link is also provided where you can watch this presentation as a video. The video has the advantage of being able to use a pause button to more carefully view the information being presented. When the Lake Office reopens to the public, a printed copy of the draft revised master plan will be available for in-office review. I want to emphasize that only written comments can be accepted. While we encourage you to call the office if you have questions, only written comments will be considered. That concludes the online presentation. I want to thank you for your time and your willingness to participate in this process to update the Lewisville Lake Master Plan.